Hello friends, welcome to Coder Thoughts. Today I will be talking about how India became the king of digital payments, even trashing all the developed countries and even China. So let's get into it and we will learn how UPI actually helped India in order to make this possible. So now a lot of people who don't know UPI is the payment method in India which can transfer your money from one bank to another bank. No matter if the bank is different, it will transfer your money and you get a lot of things. Now this money transfer is not new and there are already many money transfer things in place like Swift, crypto, Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, etc. But UPI is different and we will today know, like I will give you 5 features of UPI which made it so much successful and so much appealing to Indian users, where and therefore it is now also growing to other countries, like even France is using going to use it. There are some countries which are already using it, like Singapore, Bhutan, Malaysia, United Arab Emirates, Nepal, and there are some countries which will come in the future as well. So after watching this video, make sure that you tell your country government to either create something like UPI or just use the UPI from the Indian government. So here are the 5 reasons. First reason is free of charge. UPI transactions are free of charge for everyone, be it merchant, be it normal user to user transaction. It is totally free. If you compare that with Swift, it charges 3 to 5%. Then crypto charges 0.60%, and then Visa MasterCard has 2.5%, PayPal has 2.9%. So these all payments are actually restricting merchants. So merchants are like, I will not get my 2.9% of the cost. It's basically just money which went out. So why should I use it? And therefore it restricted most of the merchants from these payment methods. Now let's go to the second reason, and that is transaction in less than 1 second. Now, even if that hurdle was not there, if let's say some due to some magical reason Swift was made free and everything was free and fast, free, so there was this reason which is fast. So transactions in UPI take less than 1 second. Actually, let's consider it 1 second, because you have to type your PIN and then you have to type the amount and you have to click OK, and you also have to scan the QR code. So QR, let's take about 2 seconds. Okay, that's the thing. Now on the other hand, Swift takes 1 to 5 days. PayPal takes 3 days once it's in your PayPal wallet, and on the other hand, we crypto takes 3-4 minutes. Now for crypto, 3-4 minutes, or it does not seem much, but then you know that crypto does not have its constant value. It could be higher or lower in just a couple of seconds, right? So either the buyer would be unhappy because let's say if the crypto value rises later on once he sends, and it's 1 minute and still the money has not reached and it grows in value, then the seller got a lot of money and he would be happy, but the buyer was like, damn, I paid a lot. And on the other hand, if it reverses, let's say the value of crypto decreases, the buyer sent the money and the seller receives the money, but that is now lower. Yes, buyer is also unhappy because he purchased some of the crypto. That is a different task. But the seller is even more unhappy because he asked for a certain amount and he did not get it. So crypto, and that also takes like 2-3 minutes minimum. So you have to stand there and just wait for the transaction to happen. And that's not convenient at all. Instead, you would just rather pay with cash, and that is much more easier, right? Now, yes, Visa, MasterCard do the transaction fast, but then they charge also. So it's kind of meh, because the merchants are getting less money anyway. So now let's move on to third point, which is the QR code. Now, QR code is the king, because QR code does not require any physical device, right? You can just print a QR code and paste it on your cash desk, and anyone can scan the QR code and just pay. So you don't require a device, you don't have to invest in it, you just do the transaction. This is really, really important for small merchants as well, because they just started their business, and investing one more device is kind of like, why should I do it, right? But if you just have QR code, it's so good. And on top of that, you everyone has a mobile phone, everyone has a smartphone, so they can also just they just need a smartphone and a QR code, and that's it, and everything is sorted, right? So it's very simple. Even people who don't have a credit card, they can still scan the QR code and it's done. Like, yeah, it's kind of like debit card. So if you have a, you probably will have a debit card as well, but you don't have to worry about anything else. You don't have to carry an extra card in your wallet which might break or something like that. You just have a phone. Yes, even phone can break, but at least it is still simpler in that particular sense. Now, the fourth reason is no fluctuation in price. Now, this applies only for, like, this feature is really important, because if you see for crypto, as I told, its price fluctuation is high, and therefore it's very difficult for you to determine what currency should you put, what label should you put for an anything. Let's say you say that banana is for one Bitcoin currency. Let's say the value of that fluctuates so much that in 5 minutes it would be way less, and then you're like, fuck, I have to change the label. Is that really user friendly? I don't think so, right? But UPI, on the other hand, is just transferring your money, which is the money which does not fluctuate that much. Like, it does not fluctuate in a minute or something. Yes, it does fluctuate over a long period of time, but that rate is generally controlled and is always under the the determined thing. Like, I think in developed countries, like in Germany, they try it to be 2%. In India, they try it to be maximum 6% inflation. So it's still great, right? So you have a fixed percentage that, okay, this money is going to degrade, and that is like, so you have to change it, you have to change the price approximately at least in a month or something. It's not like every minute or second you have to change the price. So it's pretty good. Now, then the fifth reason, which is one of the most important reason why UPI kicked off, is because of the security and the reversibility of transactions. Now, with crypto, they say you are secure, but the truth is you're not secure if tomorrow there is a newer processor which calculates the hash faster than the previous one, and which would just bash the calculation. So they could calculate a lot of chains, and then you would be just left with no money and you would get hacked. Now, there are many instances of crypto getting hacked anyway, even if there was no processor thing, extra performance thing. But yeah, you get the context. So keeping crypto secure is really hard. Actually, it's almost like the current concept of it does not even make sense for it to be secure. Whereas for UPI, it gives the natural security which is like tried and tested for all these 10-20 years, which is like the firewall, the logging systems, and the everything. But apart from that, even if it gets hacked, you will know where exactly your money went, from which bank account to for which bank account. And because every bank account is verified, and the user and the banks know whom does that account belong to, they can easily revert back your money. Now in India, there is this law where in the banks are told that if someone makes a transaction and that was like by mistake or something, they can basically just tell to the bank that to reverse that particular transaction, and the bank has to do that. And that is very much convenient, as opposed to crypto, where you don't know where your money went. Let's say you tried to scan a QR code or something, and let's say you accidentally or made a bad transaction, chose the wrong ID or something like that, you're doomed, right? You don't get that back. So this is one of the most important thing which UPI solves, and I guess UPI will be the future of payment methods even in other countries. So if your country is still not using a better transaction medium, just go for the UPI or tell them to create something like UPI. Until then, goodbye.